So, one of the biggest problems we usually have when we're going to a new country in general is what part of the country are we going to? Like, should we follow the hype of going to the capital all the time and so on? Today, we're going to be ranking counties in Romania that I've been to. I'm going to state the reasons why I give them maybe such rankings and so on. I think I'm just going to like give points like over 10 as the Romanian system. So far, I visited 8 counties in Romania. That's if I should add Bucharest or Ilfov. Geographically, I never really got to understand this part of Ilfov in Bucharest, whether Bucharest is in Ilfov, but I'm gonna just categorize both of them being together. You can educate us on that part if you know better. I'm happy to learn. So, first and foremost, I'm going to start with the counties that I have been less to. I'm talking about being there maybe only once and slowly move upwards to maybe if I've been there twice or more until I get to my county. I'm gonna start with Argeș. So in Argeș, I've been to Pitești. So I won't really say that I actually visited, but while passing through that route, we got to stay there a bit, to see around, to eat, to hydrate ourselves, to stretch our legs, to see around. And I would say that it's not really that different from my county. I heard it's a very industrious place and that the Polytechnic is like has another branch there for less sciencey stuff. I guess it's actually a great county. I can't say much about it since I've only been there for less than a day, I guess. But I think I've passed there like once or twice. I'm gonna just give it a 7 because I can't really say more about it. So, second on my list is CBU, and I did go to the county and I would say mostly the city, but mostly the city. And I would say that that is probably one of my best experiences in going to a new county in Romania. The thing about that day was a very interesting day, or rather that trip, because that trip was a really interesting trip. So if you all heard about the news about 2 years ago of a girl who fell from the mountains because she saw a bear and got scared and at Transfăgărășan. Yeah, I was there the same day as Transfăgărășan, and that incident happened about a few hours after we had passed that route, which it happened. So it was kind of scary. And after that, we stayed somewhere for the night, somewhere around there, at the mountain spot. We saw that we were pretty close to CBU and that it would take about an hour drive or less. So we decided to explore and visit CBU. I love the architecture, like the whole creativity in there, and walking in CBU just felt like going back in time. Like the roads felt like those times when people were still using horses and carriages. As if that wasn't enough, the food was pretty good as well. Although we were at the center, it was a bit expensive. Saw that there are quite a lot of expensive restaurants there. So I don't know much about the universities or like the cost of living there. This is just my experience of visiting there for a few hours, and I would say that I really enjoyed myself there. Like like I really just loved the aesthetic. That day, fortunately for us, we witnessed a cycling competition, like a race, and I think they were going to the mountains. And did I also mention that at Transfăgărășan we saw like two bears, like a big bear and a cub? Yeah, like right on the road. People were like trying to get close to it, apparently. Anyways, that aside, for CBU personally, I would give it a 10. I haven't stayed there I haven't stayed there for even a night, but I was really, really happy to be there. It kind of gave the vibe to me as a combination of Bucharest, Brasov, and just the whole vintage aesthetic, kinda. Next on my list is Baco. So at Baco, We saw quite a lot of places because we stopped a lot, but our main place where we went to was Kamenisht. And as Kamenisht, although it's a really small town, we got to see quite a lot. Okay, we got to go on the mountains to see the place where the water comes from, which is a very beautiful view. I think this was the second or third county that I went to since I came to Romania. Prices were fair, in my opinion. It was really really far, and of course a lot of climbing and all that. But I really love the people. I love the center. I love the vibe it gave. Okay, so for Kamenest, I think I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah. I forgot to add a county to my list, and that is Fokshan. So that will make it like 9 counties that I've been to. So Fokshan, although I only visited there, I think once or twice on our way back. So I remember when we were coming back from Kamenest, and I think while we were also going, but I think coming back actually, we stopped there. We stopped at the mall. We, stretched our legs and so on. And one thing I noticed of the environment and stuff is that although it is less developed compared to my county, um, it gave a really cozy atmosphere. Like I didn't have any problems with it. I don't think we spent more than 2 hours there, so I can't really say much. I don't remember the county. I don't know if it's still in Baku, but if it isn't, that will make it 9 counties that I've visited. Fokshan, I will give it an 8. Next on my list is Craiova. Craiova. So my first visit, mind you that Craiova, the only times I've really been there was during the festive seasons twice in a row. And what I can say is I would never go there again. Like after the first visit, I was probably like, you know what, I'm sure I'm gonna go there again, but probably, a bit farther and so on. Well, the second year, since they were both school trips, I just had to go because I had already paid and so on, even after they sort of changed the the trip from Yash to Craiova again. So both times when I visited Craiova, the problem I had was mostly the overpopulation of that season, of the festive season. Like you would barely find anywhere to stay. Festive season aside, the mall at the center is small, like only one bathroom in the whole mall. At least that was my experience. And the bathroom was like at the last floor, I think. Like you would climb stairs to get there. So if you're really pressed, that's on you. Around that time, when it's really populated, you don't find seats anywhere outside in the mall, and it can be really hot in there. Honestly, I don't know what to say. The food the food is okay. I mean, I like the diversity in Craiova. Like a lot of people, I like places where I get to see other people from other nationalities. But yeah, the first time I would say wasn't that bad, but the second time we experienced a stampede. Okay, my friend and I experienced a stampede, and it was it was terrible. Like everyone was squishing each other. There was this statue that almost fell on all of us, so we had to hold it together. There were children in that crowd. There were foreigners, people going back, just being stagnant in there. And the worst part was that a few days before that I already had a facial surgery. So I was really worried that someone should have mistakenly hit my mouth. So at that point, it was like panicking time. Okay, people didn't really care where they were going to anymore. All they cared about was getting out of there. And our bus almost left us. So yeah, I think from all these counties, I'm a judge from the experience here because obviously I don't know what others might have felt, maybe people who go there other seasons or less often or earlier might have had a better experience. Although I really like the way it's usually decorated at Craiova. It's just that I saw two decorations in a row. Like nothing changed the second year. It was like just reliving the experience just with a worse experience, I guess. Apart from the center, everywhere doesn't really look that wow. I like the buses and the way the transports stuff are like, over there. Anyways, I did like the experience. Another thing I would say I didn't like was how all the stores, however, like these popular fast food stores such as McDonald's and so on, they were a bit far from the center. Although, unless the center is really, really huge and someone has to walk a lot. For Craiova, I would give it a 7 out of 10. So, if I should make this whole video into one video, is gonna be really, really long. So, I'm gonna make a part two for the rest, and you can check it out the next time I upload. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. If you have anything to share with us, nicely share in the comment section. Bye bye.